Yep.
Yeah, and I'd say that for the gun world in particular, I when it comes to the pandemic, and I'll leave my pandemic sayings for this, but it's to me, if the news came on and they said, "Oh, there's a shortage of dog food," you know, people who don't own dogs would go out and start buying dog food. In my opinion, for one reason or the other, it's like, oh, maybe I want to get a dog one day, because
Yeah.
it came on the news that toilet paper was, going out of the
And then
stores.
everybody
But
went out and got toilet paper.
That's what
you're
happened.
right,
What's-
and so I
one of the
guess what that
interesting
point is go ahead.
One of the interesting things about the toilet paper thing is that when it initially came up in the news, it was specifically about Australia. And Australia, as far as I'm aware, gets most of its toilet paper from China. And so they had a run on toilet paper because they didn't manufacture domestically. Whereas, but when the news put this out across the world, everybody started doing runs on toilet paper, even though most of the countries, including the US, made them in country. Like, it was domestic.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why I'm not worried about running out of stuff like that, because we're making it here.
Yeah. I guess people more or less, they were like, oh, my local Walmart is not getting restocked until next Tuesday, and the shelves are empty, sort of deal. And I actually took a picture while we were out one day at the Food Lion, and I was like, yeah, I mean, you go down any other aisle, everything is stocked up. Everything is stocked up.
Yeah,
and
especially food.
you go down that one, even the paper towels. I feel bad for the people who got to the store, realized there's no more toilet paper, went down to the paper towel aisle, thought, well, today's the day. Today is the day.
I was almost in that. I was in the washcloth department. I was like, well, if I run out,
you were not.
They're at the dollar store.
Really?
Yeah, the dollar store, they had those like microfiber.
My
cloths.
goodness,
that's like washcloths, and I bought like a bunch of them. Just as like, well, if I run out, this is what I'm gonna use.
Yeah.
I can't it. I'm gonna have to find a way to dispose of it. But I was like, well,
here's the thing. In a wasteland scenario, post-apocalypse,
toilet paper.
what are you gonna do when it comes to, like, taking care of your business? Like, is plumbing gonna be functional?
From what I know about plumbing, I think it can work without the power, but you have to continually fill water into it. So you essentially have to use one of your resources. You can put dirty water into it.
Okay. So would you say, somebody that has their plumbing, say you establish yourself somewhere and you basically make a well, and you're like two separate wells, one for drinking and one for plumbing, probably.
Don't mix them up.
Yeah, if that's possible, because with groundwater, since it tends to all be in the same spot, you'll have to make sure that you're not, like, mixing.
Yeah.
So you have to find a new source of groundwater if you want to use that.
I would think that the water storage, I haven't really lived through a grid down, shit has hit the fan scenario. If you want to call the events of 2020 that, for some, yes, I understand the forest fires, Australia, coast of California, whatnot. I too have been through a house fire as well. But even then, I would say for water storage, though, I would probably keep it in an above ground container. I don't know about like towers. But if you're relying on a well, then you don't really necessarily have an option. Then you'd probably have to find another option for the waste. For your body waste, So
because the farm I grew up on, they use well water. You're gonna have to dig a hole. And I was actually one of the books I have talks about how to establish like a latrine. Now, granted, it's dirty work, but if you do eventually, you have a latrine or whatever, and you let some of that stuff dry out, you can use it as fertilizer.
Yes.
You can use human waste as fertilizer. It's going to be terrible work. It's gonna smell bad. But apparently, because of our diet, it's really good for plants.
I wonder how much that changes if your diet changes due to the circumstances, though.
I think generally what we produce will be good for good for plants, but you are right as far as your diet's going to change. There's going to be no more McDonald's. There's going to be you're going to be pretty much whatever you can get your hands on. Because once
you're probably going to eat stuff, well, I think you are going to probably eat more hearty stuff, more things that are going to last you longer.
Yeah, because eventually your stockpile of MREs and your bunker is going to run out.
Yeah.
I'd say the more hardy foods for the long term are going to be your wheat, your rice, your beans, fruit, things of that nature. That, of course, I mean, that's just a given. Things that you can grow organically, but I don't know. That is a pretty interesting question. I'm not a veterinarian. I'm not a scientist, but
I thought you were.
Cows. Like if we use cow manure, right, for regular, like if you can use cow manure for fertilizer, I don't know the digestive system of a cow if they somehow produce better fertilization for the ground because of their body chemistry, but their diet is primarily composed of
grass.
Greens, greens and grass and other things of that. Yeah. So I mean, if I don't know if that's ever been tested. Like what? Test a vegan out, I guess. Get a vegan, see how fertile the quote unquote manure is going to be. I know it's a little bit of a gross topic, but I mean, if we're talking survival long term here, guys, I mean, might not be out of the realm of possibility. You gotta ask the hard questions. That's what we're here to do. And ask the hard questions.
Yeah, it's something that's not in my wheelhouse. That's something I'm gonna have to look into as far as farming.
Yeah.
As far as like what to actually feed plants, because I know you can compost just about anything. Well, certain things you can't, like plastic, but if you compost stuff over time, you can make some.
You can find other ways of reusing in plastics, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the benefits of recycling.
Yeah, going back to what resources you can work with. Plastic is very handy if you're crafting.
Yes.
Or just general stuff, because you can make like water collection systems out of it. You can make containers. You can do odds and ends, and it doesn't really break down. So, but for
my very poor attempt at perdition to make a water collection thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's lessons learned. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I tried to use that tarp, and it was raining, and I was like, well, we do have the ability to purify water with the filter, but if we don't have to go down there to the pond and get that dirty water, we can probably purify the rainwater. I don't know.
Yeah.